Plaintiff Bernadette Andrews is suing her husband, Terrell Andrews, for emotional distress, carpet damage, and a credit card bill. Bernadette says Terrell hit her in the throat with a crutch in a jealous rage and continued to beat her while she held their 1-year-old daughter. But Terrell says he only defended himself after the plaintiff stabbed him. He's countersuing for slander, emotional distress, and car damages because he says the plaintiff scratched a curse word into his vehicle.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Jeanine Pirro presiding. You may be seated.
Bernadette Andrews is suing Terrell Andrews for emotional distress, carpet damages, and an unpaid credit card bill, and the defendant is countersuing his wife for emotional distress, slander, and car damages. Talk to me. Why are you here?
On August 2005, I met Terrell in the club. He was currently stationed in Everett for the military. He was in the Navy. 3 months after we got married, I got pregnant. During my pregnancy, he was going to go overseas for 6 months.
Where were you going, Terrell?
Oh, we were going around the world on a world tour, like Singapore, Thailand, Hong Kong.
Really? And you're in what services? Are you in the Navy?
I was in the Navy, Your Honor.
All right. So you're in the Navy, about to go on a world tour. You marry her. Within 3 months, you're gone.
It was more like a month, Your Honor.
Within a month, you were gone. Did you know this?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why'd you marry her?
I mean, I thought we were in love, Your Honor. That's
because you loved her. Good
I was under
answer.
that presumption that she loved me too. I mean,
did she?
You got to ask her that. I couldn't tell you that one. Yeah.
Go ahead.
After having Sam, he was quickly asked the nurse for documentation that he had a child, so he can go to the military base, I guess, to show proof that he had a daughter. I truly believe that this marriage was a scam for him to get more money.
From the military?
Right.
Do you make more money if you're married and have a child?
To an extent, you do, Your Honor.
No, the answer is yes.
I mean, yes, Your Honor, you do. But it's for the family's benefit.
Okay. Do you have a nickname?
Kid. They call me Kid.
Kid?
Yes, Your Honor.
K-I-D?
D-D, Your Honor. K-I-D-D.
Kid.
Yes, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
kid.
Yeah.
K-I-D. K-I-D-D.
K-I-D-D. 2 Ds. That's how I get down.
All right. When did the trouble start?
The trouble started after I had Samantha. I found out he was having an affair.
How do you know?
Because I forwarded his calls to my phone, and then I confronted him, and he admitted it.
So you were having an affair?
This is the face of a sincere person, Your Honor.
It is?
I didn't do it, Your Honor. I didn't have an affair.
All right. So what happens now?
Next, he tells me we should go see other people. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I start
Where's
seeing,
the baby now? Are you two living together?
Yeah, we are. We're living in Everett at this moment.
Okay. All right. So he tells you should go out. So I assume you go out?
No, I start talking to a coworker.
A male?
Yeah, a male.
And then what?
Right. So at that time, it's October. So on October 7th, that's when the jealous rage started to
Your Honor,
happen.
as far as that particular situation is concerned, we were laying in bed one night and she got a phone call I heard a dude's voice. So I'm like, okay, probably just somebody, because she was starting college at the moment too. So I'm like, okay, probably somebody taking on some homework or whatnot. Then the conversation, 10 minutes, I get up, I go to the store, get some, obviously he more important than me. So then come to realize this dude from work during her shift. So I go to work one day, and somebody who I was on the boat with back in the Navy, he was like, yeah, this guy said he had sex with your wife and said he'd have been to your house. So we wore suits there because it was, we had to sanitize things, safety purposes. I walked to the back where they was at, and they was confronting, they were talking like face to face, like this far from each other, like right here. I walk up, I took the hood off, she seen me, and she pew, like I heard pew, like I heard it. Now that's how fast she ran off. Pew! And I was like, man. So I'm looking at, her name was Chris, by the way, her name was Chris, Your Honor. So I'm looking at Chris, I said, hey man, you been in my house? He was like, yeah, I been in your house, man. I was like, okay, cool, you had sex with my wife. He was like, yeah, I had sex with your wife.
So what happened then?
I got heated.
You got heated?
Heated, when your anger escalates a little bit.
Yeah, the guy just said he was at your house and had sex with your wife. Of course you got heated.
What am I going to do?
I don't know. What did you do?
Exactly. So I came. We went to the house later on, and I asked, I said, Bernadette, did you have sex with this guy? No. So, okay, well, call him and ask him why he lied to me about to mess up your marriage.
Did anybody hit anybody?
She came here with a knife, Your Honor.
Your Honor, That is not true. I have hospital statements from when me and my daughter had to go to the hospital because he beat me while I had my daughter in my...
No, Your Honor. Actually, it happened in the morning, Your Honor.
The next morning. Right.
She don't even got her back straight, Your Honor.
Law enforcement, advocacy, Bernadette. They don't say what happened to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, don't thank me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, don't talk. What does this mean?
That was just the physical exam that we had after we were being brutal, me and my daughter. It was a physical exam. They looked
But it doesn't allege that you had any injury. Did you have injury?
I did. I got hit in the throat with a crutch.
With what?
I had recently broke my ankle and I had crutches. And so he grabbed the crutch, hit me in the throat. I'm gasping for air and my daughter wakes up. I grab my daughter. He's still constantly beating me while I have my child in my hand. I run to the bathroom. He unlocks the bathroom. I lock the bathroom door. He unlocks the bathroom door with a knife from the kitchen and still constantly beats me while our child is watching.
Sudden difficulty breathing or swallowing?
That's because I got hit in the throat with the crutch. So
she had a crutch, right?
She ran to the kids and grabbed a knife. Came at me like this. I grabbed the crutch and
Did you get injured?
I did. I had cuts all over my arms, Your Honor.
Do you have pictures?
The police took pictures of them.
Do you have those pictures?
I don't have them.
Do you have any police reports indicating you were injured?
No, Your Honor.
Did you get a restraining order? Did you try to file charges? Did you do anything? Do you have
I couldn't do anything. Your Honor.
The only thing I have right now, kid, is this. And this tells me that she went to a hospital the next day and that she had injury in her throat. That's what it tells me.
Oh.
All right. What happened after that, Bernadette?
Okay, after that, me and him got a restraining order.
Got a restraining order?
That? Yes.
Let me see it.
Your Honor.
What?
The only restraining order that became in effect was when the initial assault thing happened. She never called the cops. We were living together, Your Honor. We were still living together after the incident.
Bernadette Andrews, Terrell Andrews, reissuance of temporary order of protection. New hearing December 15, 2008. Defendant, Des Moines, Iowa, did knowingly threaten to cause bodily injury, cause physical damage, threatened to... Oh my goodness. Bad stuff. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Bernadette.
I also feel like he really was serious about his words because he had weapons at the time. I have pictures of him with his weapons, if I can find them.
Was he in the military at the time?
Yes, he was.
I had a permit, Your Honor. I had a permit. I mean, I had a concealed weapons permit, Your Honor. And I mean, I did take a picture. I sent it to my little brother.
So did you have him arrested? Did you take this to court and say, Your Honor, he's got guns?
He got arrested that day.
All right, so the guns are not with him anymore?
No more.
Did you ever testify against him in court?
No.
Why?
Because I was afraid.
You dropped the charges. Look at me. You dropped the charges.
Right.
You can't do that. Bernadette, listen to me.
I was afraid. Okay.
It's okay to be afraid. All right? But what you've got to do is protect yourself. You can't try to move on with your life and have a baby and date other people if you're frightened of him and he's going to ruin all your relationships. Right. You've got to stand up for yourself. He does not own you. Do you understand that?
Right.
I want you to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. You can't be afraid. You tell the prosecutor you're afraid. You tell the police that you're afraid. Here's a guy who's got all kinds of orders of protection against him, who's threatened the other guy that you were dating. You got problems with this guy. And the one thing you cannot do is back off and make believe like it's going to get better, because it's not.
Right.
All right.
Okay. So we get back together and then we leave for South Carolina. While in South Carolina, I get disturbing news that my mother had a stroke.
Did you get to go see your mom?
I got to go see my mom. In addition to that, the plan was I was going to take my daughter with me, but they told me, oh, you shouldn't have her in the hospital. So I said, okay, you're right. So Terrell had court 2 weeks prior to the month that I was going to go to my mom. And the whole plan was he was going to take her with him to Seattle. So that didn't happen. The reason why is because he said he didn't feel like dealing with her on the plane. And that really got me emotional because I wanted to see my daughter.
She's taking care of her mother.
No,
I wanted my mom to see her.
No, of course she's taking care of her mother.
Your Honor, she has 2 older brothers and the older sisters who live in Seattle.
You were the baby's father.
Your Honor, I never said I couldn't take care of my daughter. What happened was when she went to Seattle the first time, I found out she had an affair with 2 other guys.
Were you? Were you
Yes.
dating those guys?
Yeah, I was dating them. We were
She had
separate.
sex
at
with
the
him, Your
moment.
Honor.
You were separated.
supposed to be
Where's the
together.
baby?
Right. The baby is in South Carolina.
And you're having affairs with guys while your mother's sick.
It's not really an affair.
Exactly. That's what happened, Your Honor.
My mom, I was still taking care of my mom at the moment too.
Okay, so at some point you get your baby back?
Yes.
Yes, I do. But during the time when I'm in Seattle and my daughter's in South Carolina, they're sending me videos. I have a video of them yelling at my child, which is very emotional.
Who?
I'm emotional.
Who's yelling
this
at your
moment.
child?
Someone, I believe it's him or his brother.
All right, let's see it.
What? Lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
That's my brother. I don't even know what that's him.
Lay down.
I don't like what I saw there at all. Instead of dating, you get your tail back to where that baby
did.
is. You pick up that baby and you bring her back where you take
brought
care of
her
your
back.
mother. If you have family there, you let that family take care of that baby.
That's what I did.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
I don't want to hear from you. That is intolerable. I got a guy with a gun. You're showing me pictures. I got a guy that you say is hitting you in the throat with a crutch. I've got his brother yelling at your baby.
Went to
What
go
are
get
we
my daughter.
waiting for?
I did go get her. I went back and got her. And after I got her, 3 weeks after getting her, he goes to her daycare and tried to take her.
Where's the baby now?
She's in Seattle with my brother.
Okay. And where do you live now?
I live in Seattle with my mom.
Okay. And where do you live now?
South Carolina, Your Honor.
Okay. What is your marital status?
Separated.
Separated?
I ain't got no paper. I thought we were still married.
Okay. You're separated pursuant to restraining order,
Right.
but you haven't started divorce proceedings. No. My concern is this. You've got a baby. Do you have custody of that baby?
I do.
You do?
Yeah,
I
temporary.
have not been to court for a custody hearing, Your Honor.
It's not a joke.
Did you actually go to court and get a court order?
The temporary restraining order is a temporary.
No. Let me explain something to you.
No, I
Bernadette.
didn't.
Let me explain something to you. If you have two parents, they are equally entitled to take the child.
Right.
But until there is a court order saying that because of domestic violence, because of harassment, because of guns, because of threats, because of prior violence, the plaintiff should have custody of the child and the defendant should not. Until you get that order saying that you have custody and he doesn't, he can continue to come to Seattle and take the baby. Right now, you've got it, but that is a temporary bootstrap to what you need.
Right.
I like you a lot. I think that you're misguided. I really do.
Do you like me, Your Honor?
No. Now, what are you suing him for?
Suing for carpet damage, credit card bill, and emotional distress.
And you're suing her for slander and card damages. Here's the deal.
And emotional distress.
Whose credit card is it?
It was mine.
Were you married at the time?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What card damages you're suing her
Oh,
for?
Your Honor, I got pictures.
Whose
See,
car is it?
It's my car, Your Honor.
Were you married at the time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see the pictures just so you feel better.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm starting to like you again, Your Honor.
You starting to like me again?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you scratch his car?
I did.
See, she admits it. Do not do that again. That's a crime. Now,
right.
the car damages, the carpet, the credit card. You're married.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not going to give you money, and I'm not giving you money. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, the issue of emotional distress is one that is not quantifiable in terms of money. I want you to walk out of this courtroom and understand that what you've done to each other. This is a marriage that has gone bad, that was never good, and you've got to make a decision as to what the two of you need to do. I'm sure your baby is gorgeous. I saw her in this picture. I don't want her ever harmed. You've got to take charge of her life. That's it. Nobody wins here, for sure. Scored.